Our next presentation comes from EPCC, Spyro, Nita.
I thought to start the presentation with a little game. I'm calling it Where is Brian? It's similar to Where is Wally game. Is that somewhere in my slides there's going to be Brian popping up. So whoever finds it first, just point at it. I thought to make it a bit more fun. So today I'll be talking about what's the life of a student at EPCC looks like. I'm Spyro Nita. Feel free to call me Spyro. I was a student at EPCC in 2017. And you'll get to know a bit more about me during the slides. So EPC is based in the city of Edinburgh. Our main offices are around here. And we are based at the University of Edinburgh. So EPC was established in the 1990s, and it's the UK National Supercomputing Centre. We provide a wide range of activities, ranging from supercomputing, AI, and data science. We are hosting the National Supercomputer of UK, which is Archer 2, as well as we are hosting the EIDF, which is a collection of services which is helping out in the DDI effort. I'll talk more about the DDI soon. So where we are based, as I mentioned, we have the city center offices in the base center. These are very central offices where most of our teaching is happening and most of our offices are. And as well, we have the ACF where we are hosting all the data center, all the HPC facilities, Archer 2, and our tier systems, and the IDF. So a bit of history about EPCC. As I mentioned, we were founded in 1990, and we were part of the School of Physics and Astronomy in our university, and that was because of all the interest there was in parallel computing about physics. However, in 2018, we left the School of Physics and Astronomy because we understood, like a lot of other departments understood, such as machine learning, all their needs about HPC. So now we are a separate department in the school, in the College of Engineering in the university. And we were moved so back then we were located in the King's buildings in JCMB. Now we are in the base center since 2018, which is one of the 6 hubs that Data-Driven Innovation Program provides. So Data-Driven DDI, for short, it's a collaboration between the University of Edinburgh and the Heriot-Watt University. And it has a few goals such as improving data literacy, preparing graduates for the data with their data skills, and generally provide help to citizens to adapt to this data economy world. It aims basically to address some of the biggest challenges such as climate change, healthcare, as well as food shortages. So it has 6 hubs around Edinburgh, and Base Center is one of them. That's where we are based. In 2020, the Archer 2 service started. And, well, we grew exponentially from 1990s to over 130 staff at the moment. We are providing a few MSc programs I want to talk about and PhD programs. So if you come by Edinburgh anytime, please feel free to visit us. We are very central in the base center. We have taken over all 2nd floor, and we'll be happy to show you around as well as to host events such as this one, as well as to organize some tours for you at our HPC data center. I took this picture from an article which was about the biodiversity around the center, and I liked it. So if you want a tour of it, we can accommodate. Talking more about our master programs. So this picture is for all our master students on site this year. So every year we have a new cohort coming, and our master programs were awarded by the University of Edinburgh. We try to provide solid grounding in HPC and parallel programming, where we are basically focusing on developing these students' programming skills. One thing that usually our students like about our program is they get to be trained by actually getting access to our HPC systems. So they would get access to the Archer 2, our Tier 1 system. They'll get access to Sirius, our Tier 2 system, as well as all the EIDF hardware we have, such as specialized hardware such as Cerebras, all types of GPUs, and so on. So that makes it very attractive to our students, our MSCs. We as well provide a range of dissertation projects, which are both research, but we can do even collaboration with industry. So if you are someone who would like to collaborate with us in any of these projects, you might have an idea, please reach out. We can arrange that one of our students might be working with you in a small project. That way, we are winning both ways. They get the experience as well as you get a small project done. As like an overview of our MSc history, our first MSc, so EPCC was founded in 1990. However, our first MSc was launched in 2001. That was our first MSc in high-performance computing. And back then, we had a very, very small cohort of students. In total, 6 students and very few courses. However, we have grew exponentially since then. And now we should have 39 courses, with 19 being on-site and 20 online. We launched the Masters in High Performance Computing with Data Science in 2014, and it's the same program I studied in 2017, 2018. And then in 2020, we made both of these programs online as well. They are kind of similar, but at the same time, the audience is different. Generally, the online masters will be taken by people who already are working and won't have so much time. So that will last around 3 to 6 years, while our masters on site usually last 1 year, and they can be done even 2 to 3 years part-time. A highlight we have for this year is the MSc in Imaging, Vision, and High-Performance Computing. We opened applications literally this June, so there wasn't much time for interest. However, we have 2 students who applied for it and are enrolled right now. And that's a master's which we are doing in collaboration with Harriet University. So we kind of understood that a lot of masters, like a lot of students from other domains, are interested in high-performance computing. So the way that works is basically the students will have all the courses in our side, which are going to be more HPC related, such as parallel programming, HPC architectures. Meanwhile, the Harriet University is teaching more the imaging and vision lectures. And in the end, they are going to have a joint degree from both universities. That kind of gave us, so by diversifying, it looks like our programs are not very monolithic. And at the same time, we kind of, that way, can reach out to a pool of students which are from a different domain. So on site, we have 50 students annually, and online 25, and that number is growing. And the total we had since 2001, 600 students graduating. Moving to ISC. So that's where I come in. Maybe I haven't mentioned, but I am the coach for Team EPCC in the Student Classic Competition. So for some of you who you might not know, ISC is the International Supercomputing Conference, which is happening annually in Germany. And it's been happening in Frankfurt and Hamburg for the past few years. And next year is going to be from 10 June to 13 June on site in Hamburg. And there is a student classic competition which is happening every year together with the conference. And that is organized by the HPC AI Advisory Council. And a lot of us are very grateful to that because it's one of our favorite projects at EPCC for some of us. We are aiming to join this competition as well. And we are aiming to join ISC 25 student classic competition, but in person. So there is a reason we don't apply for the online one, is that our MSc is very packed. We have students coming for 1 year, so we literally choose the team this Friday, and I had yesterday the first meeting with the students. And throughout the year, they have to go through 3 semesters, and the time of the online competition is where they are having their exams. So the on-site one is the most favorable competition for us. As well as, from what I have asked, most of the students prefer the on-site one. They like the excitement being in the competition there, interacting with the other students, and meeting industrial partners as well, and potential employers. So the main goal of the competition is basically we have all these international students going to the ISC, and they are involved in the competition, competing between each other on the best performance of a series of benchmarks with the cluster of their choice under the power limit of 6,000 watts. So the clusters usually look like that. We'll just, this is our cluster in 2022 and 2023. We use the same one. We were sponsored by HP in this competition. And the series of benchmarks that we're going to run during the years, so we have the standard 3 benchmarks, which is HPL, High Performance Lean Pack, HPCC, and HPCG. These are standard benchmarks which run every year, and then every year we have 3 scientific benchmarks which are always different, and the secret application, which we'll know more about it always during the competition. Now, something exciting that's happening next year is that we are going to have an LLM application, and that's exciting for us as well because, as I mentioned, we have a master's in high-performance computing with data science, so that way we can even enroll some students from there to work on this application. Something that we do probably different from other teams is that the students who are enrolled in the student cluster competition, they are writing a dissertation project based on what their work they have done. So somebody from HPC with data science, they would like to have something relevant to AI. Therefore, the LLM code is something ideal for them. And then the awards are the highest Lean Pack, which is the award for the team which gets the highest score in HPL. And we have the first, second, and third overall winners, which are which the teams would win based on the overall performance on all these benchmarks and the performance with their interviews. A bit of history about Team EPCC. So we have been enrolled in the student class competition since 2013. We have won twice. Last time we won, it was in ISC 2023, the first overall winners, and we were sponsored, our class, by HP. Meanwhile, we won as well the highest Lean Pack in 2014, and we were sponsored back then by Boston Limited.
Brian's.
Yeah, actually, I forgot about it. Did somebody put a point first? Well, Joe wins. Moving on. So I reached out to some of our students from the past year. I just thought it would be good to just check on them, how they are doing, and write a few words about the MSc and overall. These 2 students are from the last year's cohort, so it's Sean and Shiho. They haven't graduated yet. They are graduating in November, but they already have moved on with their lives. Sean has joined European Space Agency as a graduate trainee, and Shiho is doing a PhD in the Napier University. And he is trying to publish a paper as well on some on his work on his dissertation during the MSc. So he worked on the student class competition and then extended that work using doing more research on genetic algorithms. I reached out to 2 students from the year before that as well. So these are 2 students from the winning team. We have Christo, who joined ARM. We have a lot of students joining ARM from the team EPCC, as well as Jaffrey, who joined us as an application developer. I'm hoping to get Jaffrey more involved with the competition as well. And then I reached out to my team from Student Class Competition 2018. So as I mentioned, I was a student as well. I participated in the Student Class Competition, and I couldn't let it go. So now I am coaching the team. My colleagues from back then, so Wilson is a bit ambitious, so he went back to his hometown. He created his own HPC center. Meanwhile, Linda joined MathWorks, while Iñaki, our 4th team member, he joined ARM as well. And I'm here. Other students from the past years, I couldn't just reach out to everyone, but overall, a lot of them are doing PhDs at EPCC. So we have 2 students who are doing PhDs with us. Shiho, who joined Napier University for a PhD. Informatics school has students who have joined from to informatics school for a PhD as well. Most of them would just usually prefer industries, and some of them even identified them during the conference. It varies from Intel, ARM, Boston Limited, Mercedes, Coca-Cola now, Atos, and so on. We do provide PhD studies as well. So there are a few opportunities we provide for PhD research in high-performance computing, computational science, data engineering, data science, and software sustainability. And of course, we usually can welcome even ideas from students or even other industrial partners, and we can collaborate on such research, same as with the master's program. And there is Joe as well. Very good. So except of all the taught material, we do provide, through different programs, trainings on HPC. So one example is the Archer 2 training, which are trainings coming out of the Archer 2 fund. And these are usually responsible people within the CSC team in Archer 2. What they usually do is they provide a lot of trainings on HPC, like intro to HPC for package users, data scientists, and developers, but all these trainings are usually for free, so anybody can join. And they have a variety of difficulties. So it starts from introductory, intermediate, and advanced. The way they usually check, so I'm not involved in this, but my colleague told me that the way how they choose their courses is it's very much based on feedback. So they will see if a course is very popular, they'll just redo it multiple times, and at the same time they will just reach out to users afterwards, and they will identify courses which are more popular, and they will do those more often. But all of this, well, most of this will be online as well, so you can find them on demand too, and can be reached by anyone. Another program is the Software Sustainability Institute, which is an institute, the first institute in the world which is dedicated to software research. So they were founded in 2010 by EPCC, Southampton University, I can't remember, Cambridge, I was told, and I should have it somewhere here. And EPCC, Southampton, Oxford, and Manchester universities. And well, their motto says it all. Basically, it's best software means better research, and they have done over 7,000. They have trained over 7,000 researchers and RSEs throughout the years. They have over 500 workshops, over 300 instructors trained, over 50 new community developed lessons, and over 50,000 visits to over their more than 100 guides on their website. Moving on, we do provide internships as well. So we have a collaboration with the Napier University. I'm attaching here 3 interns from this summer, but the collaboration with Napier University is basically where every year students from the Napier University would just come at EPCC and do an internship in the system administration team, and that's relevant to us as well in terms of the student class competition, as we usually have a team of 6 students. 5 of them are from the masters, and 1 of them is one intern from this university. So we found that it's easier to have 6 students on the system support to be within the team rather than have somebody dedicated from the system support. That way, we are learning both ways. So this year we have a few graduate apprenticeships and 2 interns, and one of the interns is going to be in the team for Team EPCC 2025. As well, we participated this year for the first time in the Edinburgh's Employed on Campus program, where 3 students from the School of Engineering joined us at the ACF and did their internships as well for a few weeks. So these are the 3 students. We do provide as well, we have organized the summer school for the 2nd time this year. This year it ran for 2 weeks. There was a lot of interest, I was told, more than 30. However, there were selected 16 students with a variety of backgrounds. So physics, they used to be in computer science, in engineering, from all around UK, so Bristol, York, a few cities I remember, Edinburgh, and so on. What they did during the summer school, basically, we taught them a few introductory courses on HPC. I think it was parallel programming with C, HPC architectures, but at the same time, we took them for a tour to the ACF, so they got to see all our clusters, and we had a lot of guest lectures as well for these students throughout those 2 weeks. We are part of mentoring schemes for young people as well in Edinburgh. So 2 examples are the Nuffield Research Placement. This year we hosted for the 3rd time, and there were 3 students, and we had work experience for 2 students as well. This is generally for younger people, so 16, 17-year-olds, where they are in their final year of their secondary school, and then we just kind of give them the opportunity to get some work experience, to work closely with us, maybe on field relevant, something that they won't be learning on their schools. As well as they get to do like a small project, and usually they are very happy with that. And then we have a range of outreach activities. I literally came back from NSL 2 days ago. That is, so what we usually do through outreach activities is we try to identify creative ways to interact with even younger audience. So we are talking primary school young people here, but I have noticed that a lot of parents as well are getting involved and find this very interesting. One interesting way to interact with them we have found is through the VR headset. So a lot of them, they never heard about the supercomputer before. So usually we are the first ones to introduce them. And what the best way to do that rather than just have them have a tour at the ACF. So now, of course, we cannot just bring the ACF we cannot take them to the ACF, but we can bring the ACF to them with a VR headset. And usually they look very excited whenever they see this headset, and most of the time it's the first time they hear about the supercomputer. So I find it's an interesting way to present it that way. Then we organize as well a lot of games, like programming games for kids, just to give them a feeling of software development. They learn about STEM, more STEM relevant games. One way as well is to teach them to work in team and in parallel, and I figured out that that's faster. Then we explain that is the best way. We use the same technique for computing as well when we do parallel programming. A few outreach events we have been doing is Big Bang Fair, New Scientist Live, I'm almost done, and Edinburgh Science Festival, and a few more which my colleagues have been running as well, and I might not be aware. So if you want to learn more, if you want to collaborate in any way, please feel free to reach out. If you want to ask maybe to write a dissertation project for our students, either one of our emails or just into the general email for EPCC, and our help desk is going to redirect it to the appropriate person, or just feel free to reach out to me, and I'm going to make sure that you talk to the right person. I'm finishing my talk with our mascot. So this is our mascot for EPCC this year, and since we are from Scotland, this is a Highland cow. Thank you.
Thank you, Spyro. So, you can get this mascot by going to your booth
so if
at
you come to
Supercomputer.
ISC, probably it's going to be in SC as well. Go to our booth.
Fantastic to anyone that's attending. I'll get to you in 1 second. I do have a few things to say first. One of them is congrats on those awards during the competition. I know it's really hard to beat the teams that come from China. It's extremely difficult.
They're strong.
They're really good. And I understand the reservations of not doing the remote, the virtual portion of the competition. And the only thing I would say to that is, I know with the actual in-person competition, people try to put the best of the best in there, right? This is an opportunity for teams that are less educated or less ready to be able to participate in something that they don't have to get fully entrenched in. We provide a lot of training beforehand, but you don't have to be the best of the best. And if you don't complete all the application runs, it's not a big deal, right? Mm-hmm. It's more of kind of like a learning experience. So it's almost like a try before you buy. So if you have students that are interested but aren't really ready to do something in person, this is a good opportunity for them to get their feet wet and learn about HPC, learn about some of the applications, learning, because they don't have to acquire the hardware. We provide remote logins to, say, DKRZ or the Pittsburgh Supercomputing Center, so they get to work with real, live, high-performance systems and get to play around. So it's a good opportunity for those teams, and a lot of people, that's why we get a lot of teams, too, involved. Yeah. So it's really good. Now, as you get into the more advanced area, right, and you really want to get in person, that gets really interesting because you don't get any equipment handed to you. You have to work with the vendors or the channel resellers to try to get that equipment to you, and it's not cheap, right? So it's a good way for those students to start engaging within that vendor community, and that's also a good probably reason why, and I love to see it, like where they end up afterwards, right? Which is
Can I throw something in real quick? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. University of Santa Cruz is a great example of what you're saying.
the banana slugs.
The fighting banana slugs. They started with my little competition, and then they've been in ISC a couple of times. They now have sort of 3 groups of students that are really interested in HPC, going from where they didn't know it was a thing to now they're building a curriculum around it, and it all started with these competitions.
Right. A lot of these universities don't have a dedicated curriculum for this kind of work, and happy to have you guys every year. It's fantastic. You guys
thank you.
Always do a great job.
Can I direct that as a question to you now? So you mentioned like the online one. Can it be a good chance as well for them to get trained before they go to actually on-site competition as well?
So you mean?
So they can do both?
Mean, it can be, because some of the same applications are there, right? Instead of running it on a supercomputer, you're running it on a system of your own design.
That was the conversation I'll have in the next meeting, if they would like to participate in the online as well, and maybe. But that's the thing as well. They have like a very packed our students. So I'm not expecting all the students to be the same. Like I think ours is very special because we'll just have them for 1 year. They literally start in September. In 1 week, we kind of present them. And then later on, we just like get them up to speed until the competition. And then as soon as they finish, they start working straight away.
It's a good training exercise, and if they only complete 1 or 0, it's okay, right? We've had plenty of teams that have only done one of the application runs, and that's fine. Those students were able to go through the hours of in-depth training, and we try to get the actual owners or the people that have written that code that they're going to be running. So they're getting trained by the people that wrote that stuff. Right, so it's a good opportunity.
Yeah, that's what
all I'm
my
saying.
previous students loved as well. Like whenever they had to interact with people who actually wrote the codes.
So I know the deadline's coming up in a few weeks, but something to think about for next year. If
very exciting.
You're in a university and you want to get some students together, it's a great opportunity for them. You have a question.
Pursuing the undesirability of the split between high-performance computing and AI, this is the HPC AI Advisory Council. What I noted in your presentation was the distinct lack of mention of AI or ML anywhere on your slides. The closest you got, I think, was with MSCs in what were called data science and data engineering. Now, you're the National Supercomputing Centre in the UK. I don't see any evidence of anyone doing AI on Archer 2. We can discuss the reason for that. That was probably a big mistake strategically a while back. But what is going on in Edinburgh in this perspective in the future now? You must have people, clearly you do, who are dyed-in-the-wool AI aficionados. Where are they in this picture? Are we going to see a coming together of minds, or will we continue to maintain this absurd split between the activities?
Yeah, thank you. Good question. As you saw, talking about the MSc, we have the MSc in High Performance Computing and an MSc in High Performance Computing with Data Science. And I appreciate that that's true. We do not. So even the MSc with High Performance Computing with Data Science, it has to be more AI, but it's a very much HPC program where you have a few extra courses that are going to be AI related. So to teach the students more how they can use HPC for AI. But still, the program itself is very much HPC program. Now we have the informatics school on the other side of the building, and they are doing very much AI as well. So we provide the hardware and so on, but we do have people who are doing AI at EPCC, but most of us are doing HPC. But we are collaborating mainly in Edinburgh generally with people who do AI. So like with people from the School of Informatics, which are doing AI extensively, and as well people who actually want to use our systems for AI. So we would consult AI specialists to use like systems like Cerebras and a lot of GPUs. So Archer 2, I'm not aware of how much AI is happening there. I do know that the IDF it's the place where most of our AI research is happening, because there you have a variety of hardware, and AI mainly is using GPUs or the Cerebral architecture. So I know that side is running more AI than Archer 2.
Do these AI aficionados have their own jealously guarded GPU accelerated cluster?
So
they only do AI on it, but they don't do any simulations.
So I have seen, yeah. So from what I've seen, I shouldn't be talking about, but from what I have seen, is that a lot of AI people are actually using small clusters on their own, or like a small GPU, and they'll just come to us later on when they want to scale big. So a lot of research is happening actually from people I have seen on like small clusters with one GPU, and then whenever they need scaling, that's when they'll come to us. And then that's what we have, more people on actually helping to scale all these problems. Then we have, of course, a lot of people, like a few people who do AI, but mainly we help them scale in such systems.
But you'd like to have
of course.
a supercomputer that had a lot of GPUs on it, and then they could use that, but maybe I don't necessarily know whether that's going to happen, do you?
You are asking the wrong person.
I'm asking you for your own opinion about the ridiculous nature of the situation.
So Archer 2 does have a small GPU.
Yes, very small.
It is very small.
Lately joined.
But, yes, but it was put in there so people can use it as a test bed. We also have tier 2 services that did have GPUs. At Edinburgh, we have an EIDF GPU cluster, which is where the informatics people are doing a lot of their work before they scale up. I think Archer 2 is mainly, the allocations are done by EPCC and NERC. So it's reviewed by the scientists. So
EPCC covers artificial intelligence as well. And
yes.
Simulators do like accelerators because they speed their calculations up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm getting at? There's something that's a mess here.
It is, but I don't know if he can solve it.
Useful to air opinions on
Yes,
them.
yes.
Yeah, if those people come to us, I'll just redirect them to the idea. We have like H100s, H200s, and what they are after usually, it's like the latest NVIDIA hardware.
I mean, we've got we're doing the EPCC call for GPUs at the moment. So we are trying to, but we are in a predicament that we've got this call out, but we don't necessarily have GPUs for people to use if they're successful.
It's really a tricky position, isn't it?
It is.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. So just to carry on with unsolvable problems, so sorry to ask you about another one, but I just wondered what the gender split in the in your postgraduate student intake was.
I don't know the numbers for this. Can we go to the picture? Like of all our students. But yeah, I appreciate we don't have as many female students as male ones. And then even the ones we have found that they don't have much interest in the competition. So it's been like this year for around 12, 13 students I had, there were 1-2 female participants who applied. So they had the competition they had to go through was like between the students was way larger. The enrollment of the students is not done exactly by EPCC as well, so it's done by the university overall. We usually say the requirements we have. So basically they need to have at least know one programming language and have a specific mark and so on. So then they are enrolled through the university. So what's happening there exactly, I don't have the details, but I appreciate that we don't have, it's not 50-50. Probably it's 70-30. Yeah. Let's go. An overview. That should be around 30.
So I suppose my next question, and I realise that this is massively unfair, so I apologise, but since Peter's been difficult, I feel
let's
like
go.
I'm empowered to be difficult. I'm just wondering, what you're doing to monitor and potentially change this situation, because, we look around the room and there's clearly...
Yeah, sure.
And apologies for the difficult and unsolvable
that's unsolvable. I mean, that's a difficult question. I think everybody's having that question.
Yeah,
And we have to have
can
Can we save this question for the
It's for the panel.
I think the panel is a great way for this.
So I was gonna just redirect us to the first talk in the morning with Jane, what's her name? Janet. I think they had the answers to that question mainly, but yeah, it's an unsolvable question so far.
We'll take it up on the
So let's get to the panel.
right now. And by the way, it has been changing. I've followed these student competitions since 2007, and the female makeup has definitely increased, particularly in Asia.
Very good.
Anyway.
Spyro, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Great presentation.